I have received multiple queries where actually you guys ask me how can easily someone collect forensic evidences from a machine. So today's episode I thought to create some quick tips for you guys where I will show you actually one, two, not two, actually three steps at three procedure how easily you can collect forensic evidence from an infected machine. Okay, so let's start. Alexa, take me to my lab. Hey, this is not my lab. I guess automation sucks sometime, so I need to try off my own. Okay, let's do it. Finally, so let's do it.
Okay, so for the first step, I have taken my software into this particular USB flash drive, and actually I am making this flash drive as a go to anywhere forensic device. So in case if you want to make some forensic evidence and capture a memory image for an infected machine and on a machine on which you want to investigate on later on, so you just need to plug in this particular cruiser blade, and there's a software installed. So let me take you to my GitHub repository and let me show you from there what actually I am trying to say and trying to do. So let me open my GitHub account here. So I have dumped everything, every file that you might need for forensic works purpose and other purpose in this repository. So you just need to open this dfir tools, and here you can see a lot of tools, so forensics tools for this particular evidence, and we will be taking this particular tool that is called as Dumpit. Okay, so you can download this tool from this particular link. Okay, so I'll leave the GitHub repository link in the description box, so don't worry about it. So you just need to download this particular software and put it into your this cruiser blade or whatever device you want to use it as your forensic capture device. Okay, so now once your this particular software you have installed and it's already downloaded into your machine, so there is a particular exe that will be dumped inside this particular cruiser blade, and you just need to open that as an administrator, and on the infected machine you are on. Okay, so you don't need to do anything else, so the tool will do all the job for you. So enough talking now, so let's start and let's see how actually this tool actually works and capture the memory image. So as you can see, I'm inside my VM now. So this particular VM I will be using as my infected machine, and let's say that this particular machine is infected and I'm trying to grab this forensic image and memory image of this machine. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do, because my cruiser blade currently is connected with my host machine, so I'll come here to SanDisk cruiser blade and disconnect from host, and I want to connect this machine to my VM, to my guest VM actually, so that I can do all the job that I want to show you. Okay, so I'll open that up, and as you can see, there is a file, as I told you, right? So there is a file called named Dumpit. So you can, if you want, you can read this file, or otherwise you can skip it, so you can follow along with my tutorial that will do all the job for you anyway. Okay, so the next thing, I will run this Dumpit application as an administrator, and it will open up a command prompt for me. Okay, so let's see, you guys are ready. I am hoping that you guys are ready. So you see it's a colorful prompt, and as quickly as I click yes, the Y button only, it start working. Okay, and it will capture your memory image into your into this particular USB cruiser blade only, and the machine on which I am running this particular script is my VM. Okay, so the VM is my infected machine, and I am trying to capture the memory image of that machine. Okay, so now I'll press Y and let's see what happens. Okay, so Y, processing, it's already done. So now if you come here and if you see, there is a raw file getting created. Okay, so this particular raw file is our memory image. Okay, so now you just need to wait. It's totally dependent on the processor on which you are actually capturing the image, and the depth and the full length of your disk of your RAM actually of your infected machine. So let's wait for some time, let's grab some coffee, let's do some magic, let's do whatever you want, and we will come back as soon as this particular script gets completed, and we will have our memory dump image. So remember that this is step 1. This is one of the 3 steps that I am going to talk about today. So let's come back when it's done. Okay, so as you can see, it's done now and it's saying the processing is successful. Okay, so this is the only message that you guys will get once the process get finished, and the destination, as it is saying that E drive, dump it, then win, this is my machine name actually, and win, then blah, 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 then timeframe.raw. okay, so this is my machine name, and as you can see, this raw file has been created. So let me just refresh the window once again, and you see the file size is almost like it's like 1 GB. okay, so this is my RAM size of this VM. So this is pretty simple. So we are done with step number 1. So now I'll see and I'll show you actually what are the second 2 steps. For that, I just need to swap my VM back because this is a Windows 7 VM, and the next process and the next the tool that I'll be using, that is more flexible in my VM as a Windows 10 VM. So, and that will be healthy for you guys to show. Okay, so let's do that now. Okay, so I am now inside my second VM, which is a Windows 10 VM obviously, and the application that we will be using is called Access Data. Okay, so if I go to my GitHub repository and the same link as I showed you before, so you can download the application from their official website. Okay, so you just need to fill some like here and there details about your email ID, name, and some other details, and the software will be provided to you absolutely free. Okay, so there is no cost associated with it, and this tool is amazing. Okay, so the same cruiser blade that we will be we actually used in the step 1 will be using the same tool. Okay, so let me open my Access Data Imager and let me show you what are the simple steps that I am gonna do. Okay, so now I have opened this Access Data Imager application. There is no fancy thing that I have done. I have just double clicked on that particular application and it's opened. Okay, so now I will go to this file option, and there will be other like lot of other options will be also available. So for this particular for our purpose of this creation of disk image, because what actually we are trying to do, we are trying to capture the disk image of that cruiser blade. Okay, so let's assume that that is our infected hard drive or something, and you want to capture the full disk image for a forensic evidence or forensic investigation purpose. So I'll create as a full disk image. Okay, so once I click that full disk image option, it will obviously show me some other options as well, as you can see. But just remember, for this episode, we are capturing a physical drive because our device is a cruiser blade. Okay, so comment me and let me know if you are if you want me to create some full fledged evidence or full fledged episode for this FTK Imager. I'll be happy to do that, but let's go away with physical drive for now because it's a physical drive, at least, like no doubt in that. So I'll click next and it is showing me the physical drive option. Okay, so I know that my USB cruiser blade, which is a 4 GB device, is my is the device of which I actually want to create my disk image. Okay, so I'll select that. I'll go ahead and I'll select that a particular option. It's select now and it's finished. Okay, so now the next step, you just need to add an image destination. Okay, so obviously just remember that you never should, or it's a must actually, on which you are actually capturing from which you are capturing your full disk image, you never should save the disk image on the same portion, okay? Otherwise you obviously know that it's a loop, right? So, and you do not need to tamper, you do not want to tamper the evidence on which you are collecting some data. Okay, now I'll hit this add button. So as obviously you see, there are like a raw, smart, E01 and AFF device. So raw is the like that particular evidence which is a bit by bit copy of your disk image that will be captured, okay? So I don't believe that smart and AFF is used now, because it's already like it's might be deprecated, and most of the forensic evidence collection tool that you would be using for after collecting your evidence, they don't support those tools, okay? So E01 also we can select because it's kind of like an NCAS format, and if you are using NCAS tool for using for analyzing the data, that will be useful for you anyways, okay? So we will go ahead and we will choose as raw, and we will go and hit next. And for this episode I'll try to create everything as test, because I don't want to do anything else with this examiner. I can write my name as like BlackPerl, and notes I don't have obviously on any notes, okay? So once you have assigned to this particular case, obviously you definitely would have some case number, like the evidence number, evidence back collection, which is followed by your chain of custody details. So you can fill that here as well, okay? And I'll click next. Now destination folder, as I told you before, you need to select a destination path which is not obviously the destination path as same on which you are collecting the evidence. I have created a new folder inside my desktop, and I can rename it as called like evidence, okay? Okay, so you can rename the folder as you like, or like after your case number or case history number as you like, okay? So I'll select that one as my evidence folder, and I'll go as okay. So you see it's selected now, and image file name, okay? So remember that image file name would be also come after your like case number or case history number. For this purpose I'll write as test disk, okay? Because I don't have any case number, it's just like that I am showing you guys. Now remember that this particular option comes handy very much when it's like if your data is too much, or it's like huge data that you are working on. So it's always advisable that you break or partition the data on 1500 MB size. So it means that if your data is more than 1.5 GB, it will fragment the data, and it will parse, and it will create separate disk image for that. It's easy, right? You can ship the data like that way, you can transfer the data like that way, it will be easier for you. So I'll leave it like that way, and I don't want to use any AD encryption, and I'll click finish. Okay, so it's obviously done, and last step I just need to start my process. Okay, so that's done. So once I start the process, as you can see, it is it has started capturing my disk image, and let's wait for some time and let's see how it goes. Okay, so the process is finished now, and as you can see, it is giving all you the details, like you can verify the details with your MD5 match, your SHA value match, if like if afterwards you want to match these particular files, and for some reason you want to do that. Okay, so what I can do, I can let me show you. This is the image summary page. If you just close this button, this option will pop up. So it's in my PC. I'll go to my desktop anyways, and there was a folder name, if you remember, evidence. Okay, so let's open that, and as you see, test disk 001 to 003, because it's fragmented my disk partition. Okay, so if I remember, my RAM size was around like around 3.5 GBs, so it's almost captured everything. Okay, so and this is the particular file which actually I showed you just when the process got actually finished. Okay, so it's created by access data, it's a case information, whatever the notes, whatever the information that you are typing while creating that particular disk image, it's captured everything. Okay, enough work, coffee break. coffee is life, man. So this is almost done. So now we are almost done with the second script also. Now it's time for the third script. So you guys are ready? I am pretty much ready now. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so I am back with my Win 7 VM as usual. So this time we are going to use MagnetRam capture. Okay, so this is another tool which will help you and which will as quickly as possible will capture your memory image. So if you like to use the Dumpit, so feel free to use that. If you are fascinated about doing like command line script and all those magics, I love them personally. But if you are not familiar or if you don't like command prompt so much, you can use this particular tool. So it's MagnetRam capture. So if you go to my GitHub repository and if you come here and scroll down to the middle, you will see MagnetRam capture. So this is also a free tool. You just need to give them some information like your basic details, your name, your like company details, on which industry you are working on, and you are free to download their tool. They will send you a link anyway. Okay, so this is the same thing that we are going to do now. So I am going to capture this RAM of this particular VM which is infected using MagnetRam capture shortcut, and I'll save all of my work inside my closure blade. Okay, so I'll open that up. Let's see, it will anyway ask you for the administrative prompt, and it is as simple as that. It will open up a like window for you, and if you don't want to split your memory image, so you can ask it to don't split. Otherwise it is like quite same as FTK Imager, it will give you the option, but I know it's like only 1 GB RAM I am using, so I don't need to split it anyways. So browse now. Remember again, so you don't want to store your dump or any what that on which you are actually collecting. You need to select a different device. Okay, so for this I am free to use my cruiser blade because I am dumping everything, whatever memory that I am using on my on this particular VM. Okay, so I'll give it a name as called memory. Okay, this is because it's a memory image. Okay, so I'll hit as save, and so don't bother about this particular error message because it will pop up, because it's because my disk the cruiser blade is not, it's like it's a fat device. Okay, so it won't be able to capture if the file size is more than 4 GB, but I don't bother about that. And anyway, I'll start. Okay, so you see it's like it's getting started already. Okay, so depending on your again like processor, your CPU speed, it will take some time, and let's wait for some time. Okay, so as you can see, it's done now. So it says the message RAM capture successful, and it's saved to my cruiser blade. Okay, so which is my E drive anyway. So I'll click OK, and let me show you whether it's actually worked or not. So I'll go to my computer and I'll go to my SanDisk, and as you see, memory.raw. Okay, so this is my memory dump image for this particular Windows 7 VM, which is my infected VM machine. So it's done. It's pretty simple, isn't it? So we are done now. So isn't it pretty awesome? Like within 15 minutes we have covered 3 steps. So as a bonus tip also, so let me tell you that you guys can have another option which I showed you in my last episode, which was IR flash. If you guys haven't watched that, link in the description, and somewhere it is coming in the I button now, so feel free to watch that. You just need to add a particular slash on a particular switch with your IR flash command, and you will be done, and you have another option or another power to your hand to capture your memory image as well. Okay, so it's almost done, but wait, don't you think that you are forgetting something? So yes, you need to like this video, and you need to share this obviously with your friends, with your peers who are actually working in this dfir and in the same field, right? And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, where you will get all this pretty much like awesome information, right? So I'll catch you guys in the next episode with a brand new topic, maybe Linux, maybe cloud, who knows. So stick around and stay healthy till then.